ثانية على حب الحسن والحسين. And the third in your loudest voice is salawat والإمام الحجة. Inshallah, you guys had a good break, good food, a little healthier than usual. I noticed vegetables in the sandwiches. Alhamdulillah. That's good. It's more probably than I've had this whole weekend. I'm joking. Alhamdulillah. I'm not joking. Probably did. Okay, so alhamdulillah, we had a good break, got some fresh air, got some good food, connected with people, probably shared some ideas, chit-chat, gossip, hope not. But it's all good. It's all good, alhamdulillah. So now what we're going to do after learning about what mental health is, what counseling is, the issues in the community. We also took a look at Islamic counseling concepts from a spiritual point of view and how to apply that in our lives practically through Imam Ghazali's 6 steps for change, as well as looking at salah, dua, and Quran from a different perspective and how we can approach it from a spiritual perspective, but also perhaps how to instill that love in our children towards these routine things that we do in our lives, but how to mentally benefit from those traditions that we have. Not just doing them, but really encompassing them into our lives. So the third part of our workshop today is learning about how to maintain a healthy lifestyle for overall good mental health. And this is a workshop that I give a few times a year at my university in terms of how to deal with stress, especially during high stress time, during midterm and finals, but also just learning how to apply practical strategies into our lives. Every stage of life, you are going to be encountering all sorts of challenges, and we discussed that at length today. Every phase of life, you have no control over these things. And the sooner we learn and accept that we do not have control over the challenges and things, people, the weather, the sooner this acceptance will help you deal with these things, right? And it's about, again, that maintenance. So when we have that concept in mind here that we don't have control over these issues, but what do we have control over? Exactly. How we choose. Let's take it a step further. How we choose to react. I could have reacted a certain way during that majlis, or look at the benefit of when I didn't react that way, right? So that was a choice. It was very hard. I was doing, jihad al-nafs during that time, and nafs al-ammara was like really going down, Alhamdulillah. If I got to that mutma'inna, I was rewarded. So we have that choice. You do not have control over things that happen around you, but you have the choice in how you choose to respond to these things. And this also comes from learning coping strategies and understanding stress and understanding how it has a huge impact in our life. So my first question to you, what is stress? I know we have a fancy definition up there. You tell me. I think we're comfortable now that you guys can talk to me. I'm not as scary. So I want to hear answers. What is stress? Shout it out. That's definitely stressful. What else? Overthinking. Yes, that is stressful. Oh, yes. Kids can be very stressful. What else? What is stress? Right? So stress, the definition here is the body's physical response to a perceived demand or threat. What I find interesting here, other than the kids part, is that the answers I heard had to do with the mental health, not physical. And our definition here is the body's physical response. So already, mental health, you've been influenced. You've been influenced. So how does the body respond to stress? I know we have a biology major here and some psych students. Who else studied stress? MashaAllah. What else? Physiologically, right? So I'm going to give a definition hopefully the doctor will approve of here. I didn't know we had a doctor here in the audience. Wow, mashallah. So we have the fight or flight response. What does that mean, do you think? So when you see immediate danger or something that's causing you to feel stressed, you either go right into it and deal with it, or, oh, I'm shutting down, I'm going away, I'm leaving, right? And this can also mean anything. Like, a good example is your wife is about to fight with you. What do men usually do? Sorry, that's just the first example that came to my mind, right? Shut down mode, like just not responding, right? Is that fight or flight? You know, and we'll just nod and smile, right? No. But this is how our body would react, right? So what happens physiologically is together the hormones that we have, so adrenaline and cortisol, there's a release of that into our system, right? And it starts affecting different parts of your body, including increasing your heart rate. You mentioned that, right? Increasing the breathing, right? So, and breathing like from here, not from your belly, you know, belly breaths. So increases muscle tension, increasing your blood pressure, right? Increasing the secretion of insulin to liberate energy, and increases blood flow rather to the brain, lungs, heart, and muscles. So that's why you hear stories, for example, of people, you know, la samahallah, they get into a car accident, right? By the way, is it on? Yeah? Okay. So you get into a car accident, and then you hear about these people having these superhuman force and power to lift, you know, something like that. And then so you wonder, what happened? Did an angel come and lift the car with them? Perhaps, who knows, the power of Dua, right? But at the same time, this is what happens physiologically. You get this increase of adrenaline that gives you this kind of energy that can get you into that mode of fight or flight, right? So during chronic stress, what happens is when you have the overexposure of these stress hormones into your body, starts attacking different parts of your body and organs, your immune system goes down. When your immune system goes down, what happens? You get sick, right? Easy catch flus, bronchitis, or whatever, and it affects you. What else? All of these things. But then what happens? Stress at this point, the physiological response of the body, the stress, overexposure to the stress leads to long-term illnesses which we don't want to deal with. Okay? So these long-term illnesses could range to a variety of things that are irreversible. Some of them are irreversible, including suicide when it comes to mental health. Okay? So, stress again is the body's physical response to a perceived threat. You either fight or flight, excretion of hormones into your body. Long-term exposure of these stress hormones can have long-term effects on your body, such as these challenges here. We don't want to be dealing with these. The reality is we will. We'll have some strategies, inshallah, throughout this workshop to help you reverse some of the effects before it gets to the irreversible. So, the signs of stress, of course, are things that we ignore. Our body is brilliant. We just took a look at a few things earlier in terms of how the mind and spirituality. If you look at the science involved with the body and how our body sends us signals, it is amazing how it works. Our body will send you these signals to tell you, hey, you're in trouble. Things are happening with you. Pay attention. Listen to me. Over here, over here. And what do? We ignore, right? Sometimes you ignore, you're just saying, whatever, you know, I just have a cold, or I'm just sick, or, you know, I'm just feeling stressed. But chances are it could be something serious, and you don't want to completely ignore that, and you go see a doctor, right? That's what you got to do. So again, what are some sources of stress? Stress minus the S up there. But what are some sources of stress around us? Could be the physical environment, right? Traffic, bright lights. These are things that will impact us. The cold, the heat. The cold in Ottawa, we hit minus 35 Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit for you guys? Minus 80? Fahrenheit, yeah, around there. That's cold. And then we have snow that's up to here. I kid you not. We have snow that can, so that's pretty stressful. We have to clean it, driving, all of that. Here's the opposite I hear, huh? The heat here can be quite maddening. Of course, the physical environment has a huge impact on your stress, of course. Social and relationship aspects, right? So perhaps people, when they're rude to you, they're aggressive, conflicts with family, friends, coworkers, you know, not spending enough time with important people, lack of social support, loneliness. These can also have an impact. Financial issues, all about the money. That can cause a lot of problems as well. And I hear this is pretty common when we're dealing with marriage as well, where people are getting along, they want to get married and whatnot, but then families get involved with money and class and status. And these are issues that we have in all of our communities when it comes to these things, right? But financial can be, of course, be attributed to the daily issues of bills, cost, making ends meet. It can be very challenging sometimes. Organizational issues can also have an impact on your on your stress. So dealing with regulations, deadlines, work, all of that kind of stuff. Life events, so death, loss of job, illness, all of these things that we chatted about earlier. And it could be positive things as well, such as a marriage. How much stress is involved in a wedding, right? Things like that. A birth of a child is a blessing, alhamdulillah, and it comes with its own money as well and blessings, as we know. But it can be very stressful with the sleepless nights and transition, all of that. That has a huge impact. Lifestyle choices, as we know, can have a huge impact as well. We discussed some of these in the first workshop. And finally, our physiological aspect of ourselves, you know, the poor physical health, eating unhealthy food, you know, all that. All of that can have a huge impact. And these are things we don't think about when we look at the word stress. We just say, I'm stressed and that's it. So you need to look at all the different aspects of your life that contribute to your stress. Know what they are. What did the Imam say? Reflect. Be aware. This is how you can take control of stress in your life, by recognizing what is causing you stress in your life. Signs and symptoms of stress. So that could be a whole range of things, from the physiological, or the physical signs rather, behavioral, mental, as well as emotional. And so these are things that we recognize if you look at this list. You recognize these things, right? When you become stressed, what happens? All of these things could happen. What's interesting about stress is that we all respond to it uniquely. And as such, you will need a form of treatment that's unique for you, perhaps, right? Because some people will say, you know, I just overreact to this situation or that situation. This person may not. Does this mean that I am emotionally dead? That I don't feel, that I don't? No, it just means that you have different ways of responding to things, right? The intensity. We'll come back to this in a little bit. I want to take this a little bit further to understand demand as a source of stress. So what is that? What does that mean? So I always play around with this one and I say it wrong, so I want to make sure I say it right. So demand as a source of stress means that the perception of not having enough resources to meet that demand, right? So in your mind, I don't have enough time to finish an assignment. I don't have enough time in the day to get things done. I don't have enough resources or support around. That perception in itself, to reach that demand, is a form of stress in itself. And it's a big one. When we say there's not enough time in the day to get things done and do things. You guys ever experienced that? You feel like you're just running. Yeah, absolutely. So this is an interesting concept as well that we don't really think about when we're stressed. We just say, I'm stressed, and that's it. The ways that we think can also contribute to stress. So negative thinking, self-talk, putting yourself down and putting others down as well. Discounting the positive and really maximizing the negatives. Right? You know what that means? Can you guys give me an example of that? Right? And what does the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says? Tafa'alu bil khair tajiduna. What does that mean? It means think always in the positive, you will find it. Right? He was a psychologist, mashallah. That in itself has so many layers of depth because it talks about positive thinking, framing your mind that way, And there's a biology involved in that too. And the release of the hormones and the chemicals and so many studies have been done about looking the effects of these things, how positive language, energy, and thinking about things positively, what it does, like what happens inside the imagery inside of the brain and the release of the hormones, and how you eventually feel it. Have you heard of fake it till you make it? Another example, smiling and laughing when you really don't feel like it. What's going on there biologically? What do you think is going on there? You're not allowed to tell us. The brain releases, so the muscles, when you smile, everybody just smile, fake smile. It's okay, you can fake smile. Oh, you're laughing too, great. Now this movement, I know I look really fake right now. So no, it's real. You can tell the difference between a fake and a real, but the brain doesn't. This is the beauty of it. When you stretch that smile like this, no, it's real. Anyways, so when you're smiling, the fake smile, when you're doing that, just like it was real, the brain thinks that you're really smiling and something is funny. It releases the hormones associated with happiness and laughter. Then you feel it. Fake it till you make it. So even if you don't feel like it, try it. It can help. So, and it's contagious, right? It is. Like emotions are contagious. But mental illnesses are not. There's a difference. There's a difference. So, discounting the positive. There's a whole lecture on its own right there. And the beauty, again, with the hadith of the Prophet, thinking and being positive, you shall find it. It's so beautiful when it comes to these. So other ways, negative now, back to the negative. So overgeneralizing, overanalyzing, we have to say it. As women, we sometimes use language that contributes to that. You always do this. You always leave this. Never. I'm hearing over here. Yeah. So these words, overgeneralizing like that, they also cause a lot of stress. We need to pay attention to the language that we use. So pessimism, being negative. Have you heard of the expression Debbie Downer? Okay, you guys have that too, so it's not just Canadian. Okay. Yeah, so things like that, being pessimistic. Again, the opposite of what the Prophet's teaching us about optimism, right? So overanalyzing, I heard that one earlier. It's constantly just thinking negatively and just not leaving something. Just let it rest sometimes. So self-criticism, blaming yourself, exaggerating, perfectionism. I see that a lot with students. They will not hand in assignments on time, even though they've completed it, because it hasn't reached their level of perfectionism that they wanted. And they lose marks on that more than had they handed it in like that. What else could be in terms of perfectionism? Yeah. Obsessive compulsive disorder, it goes to that, right? So I see that a lot when it comes to Muslims dealing with najasa and tahara. You guys seen that too? Yeah. Awfulizing, catastrophizing, rigid black and white, not being flexible, going with the flow, things like that. So the way that we think can also have a huge impact. So we looked at the physical, right? We looked over here. We looked at the different, physical, behavioral, all of that. We looked at the environment and all of these aspects. But the way that you think can also contribute to stress. Be mindful of that. So let's have fun right now. Everybody got a pen? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a look at how to identify for stress. So we're going to go through the 5 steps of how to manage stress. Step 1, I want you guys to remember each step. Each step we go to, I'm going to go back and ask you what the first one was, okay? Step number 1 is what? Identifying if you are stressed, okay? So how do we identify for stress? We're going to do an exercise here called How to Find Your Stress Print. And it's based on the signs and symptoms of stress that we took a look at here. What you're going to do, and we're going to do this very quickly because we don't want to overthink, Get it? Yeah, we want to go through this quickly with instinctively what you recognize as stress for you. Don't overthink it. Through this list here, and keep this with you after, it's for you to keep. Right now, select everything that happens to you when you're stressed. You two guys as well. You do it too. So just go through it quickly. Whatever you experience, just check it off. Those of you who are watching live, you can follow along with that list. Then what you're going to do is just select the top 5 signs that happen to you most often or that you can really connect with. So just go through it quickly right now. Don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Just select quickly. You recognize these things happening to you? You connect with some of these things? Mm-hmm. We're all good? Have you selected the top 5 that happened to you? Now I'm going to pick on people, okay? Just saying. All right. Volunteer. I will start. I didn't do it, but I will start. You guys already know one thing about me, right? I disclosed the Karbala'i temper. So yeah, I already know this, so I'm just basically going to tell you. My stress response is anxiety. All the symptoms of anxiety, and I've known this about myself but not understood what it was since I was a teenager. I used to have panic attacks, and I didn't understand why. You guys know what panic attacks are? What are they? Yeah, and then shaking and heart racing and even fainting, and I didn't understand what was going on. And I got sent from one cardiologist to the next because I had a panic attack one time in my algebra class. Everything was fine, but algebra triggered a panic attack. Ooh. And I had to go straight to the hospital and then sent from one specialist to the next. I saw a cardiologist. I saw a neurologist. I saw a hemoglobin specialist. And finally got sent to an Indian cardiologist who took one look at me and my dad next to me. Back off, Dad. Too much pressure. There are no heart issues here. And my dad, God bless him, what he was trying to do is just get me through school to get into medical school, pressure that way. He's a PhD in physics, so you can imagine the pressure I felt taking algebra and physics. So that's how I understood that I respond to stress with anxiety. Heart racing, jitters, and all of that. Whenever I get stressed, till now, some of those symptoms happen. But I don't have the full panic attacks anymore because I learned how to manage and deal with them. So I disclosed something here. Your turn. What are some of your stress symptoms there? Just somebody read off for me the 5 that they experience. I guarantee you other people have the same ones. Very similar. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Anxiety. So you have kind of symptoms of that as a stress response. What else? What else? You guys notice increase in eating, perhaps? Or decrease of eating? I lose my appetite. I just remember that. I can't eat. I lose weight. I don't eat, which is not good because you need that. I will not eat even fruit and vegetables. I won't eat anything. So some people oversleep, right? Undersleep. The oversleeping, a lot of people who deal with severe depression or, mild forms of it, sleeping, that's a common one. What else? Gentlemen? Sorry? Impatience. So emotional, no, this is the, which one is it? Emotional? Yeah, it was. Yes, impatience, irritability. Yeah. Oh, I get irritable. That's another one. What other signs? Come on, guys. Come on. You got to give me more. Shout them out. Just shout them out. We're all good. We're all friends here. We've shared some good ones. Frustration. What else? Worry. Short temper. Fatigue. Muscle aches. So physical. Yeah. What else? Headaches. Yes. Swearing. Yes. Feels good though after you swear. You shouldn't be doing it, but it feels good because you're releasing, right? What else? Going blank. Exam anxiety, right? Just shut down. Your brain shuts down. Few more? Concentration, definitely. That's a big one. Focus, concentration. I noticed that one too myself. I just lose concentration. What else? Crying. That's a big one. I see a lot of people, men and women, believe it or not, will come into my office and the tears just flow. They don't understand why, but it's the body's way of releasing. Now, the whole point of all of this, what we're trying to do here is to understand our body's response to stress. Because we don't want to use the term, I'm stressed. That doesn't make sense. What does it mean to you? When you reflect and you understand how your body works with stress, then you start taking control to managing it better. Okay? So keep all of this in mind as we go through the next few steps, because you're going to write down here at the bottom what your distress plan is. Don't really like that term. I'm going to change it. Maybe my stress management plan. How's that? Right? So recognize that your body is sending you signs and symptoms, or rather signals to getting your attention, just like on your phone, you get alerts. Your body is sending you an alert. Your brain is incredible, subhanAllah, and it's sending you these alerts in the form of these manifestations here so you can do something about it. This is what I was talking about earlier when you don't take care of the long-term exposure of the stress hormones in your body. It can handle, because stress can be good sometimes. Like when you have a happy event and you're doing work and you're getting something done, that stress will push you. The adrenaline will push you to get things done. But then overexposure long term, it gets to irreversible illnesses sometimes, right? And then you're ignoring these signals that your body's trying to tell you, like do something. If not, you're going to get a panic attack. If not, you're going to go to deep depression. If not, you're going to have negative thoughts, which could potentially lead to suicide. You understand? If you don't take care of your stress at the beginning when your body's sending you signals, then it gets into mental illnesses later on. This is taking care of your mental health before they turn into illnesses if they're triggered. What's fascinating biologically is that some of us are pre-wired. We are predisposed because of our family genetics, right? Just like we would with physical illnesses. Why is it the doctors will ask you, is there family history of heart disease? Is there a family history of diabetes, right? Now they ask questions, is there a family history of mental illnesses? Because that could be triggered later on in life. Does that make sense? This is a crucial point here. All right. What was step 1 again? Step 1 in how to manage your stress is identifying if you are stressed. Memorize it. Burn it in here. Copy it in here. Download it. Is it downloaded? Yeah. Step 1, identify. How do you identify? What we just did. Recognize your stress responses. Step 2, identifying what the stressors are, okay? You want to look for the cause. People around you can help you with this one as well. So stress is usually related to a change of some sort, right? Look at the changes in your life the last few weeks. What is causing you stress now that wasn't there a few weeks ago? Go back, think. Ask people around you, family, if they notice anything around you, what's different, right? Look at when perhaps these issues started happening. And then ask their opinion if you can't figure out exactly what's going on. What was step 1 again? If you are stressed, right? With your stress print. Oh, by the way, with the stress print thing, you know how you have your own unique individual fingerprint? You have your own unique stress print. And that's what we just did. Remember that, my stress print, okay? So step 2, identifying what the stressors are around you. What is causing you to feel this way? So step 1, if you're stressed. Step 2, what the stressors are. Step 3, reason. Okay? What is the reason? Well, we're going to be good at this as Muslims. If you guys remember the last workshop. Reflect, introspection, awareness. You want to do some introspection. You want to ask questions such as, how is this event or situation threatening or demanding of me? What's causing me to feel this way? Why is this a threat for me? Why is it a problem that it's 35 degrees outside or 80 Fahrenheit? Why is that a problem? That's a deep question, right? Why is that a problem? So ask these questions for yourself. Why is this situation causing me the stress, right? So sometimes this can be a conflict. Why? I'll give you an example. Somebody lies to you, all right? Somebody lies to you. You find out afterwards it was a lie. What do you feel over here? Like that part, that nafs part that we always keep pointing to here. How do you feel? Betrayed? What else? Anger, irritability, all of these negative feelings, right? But why is that an issue? Because it's a conflict of values. Does that make sense? Right? You're being lied to. It's a disparity for you. It's important for you. Honesty is important. That value of yours is being conflicted. It's being attacked. This is causing you to feel stressed. Does that make sense? So always look for the root of why is this issue? What about this problem is causing me to feel this way? This is, again, taking control of the situation. How? You can't control that this person's lying to you, but that discomfort you feel, that form of stress, you have control over working through it and processing it and understanding why it's causing you stress. That's pretty powerful, wouldn't you say? What was step 1 again? Identifying if you're stressed through your stress print. Step 2, I want to hear the men, please. What's step 2? Thank you. Identifying the stressors. And 3, the reason. Step 4, selecting a strategy and applying it. And there are 3 levels. Level 1, if you can do something about it right away, do it. For example, unhealthy eating, an apple a day will keep. Simple. You can do things like that. Again, kun fayakun. You put it in your mind, you do it. You can, right? I always tell students, hey, you've done it already. You come to see a counselor. That's the first step, right? There's something you can do about it right away. You've come. Let's work now on the rest. What else do you think that you can do to apply this concept at the first level? What can you do? You don't have to share this. It could be personal. But think of this question. What can you do in your life right now that is causing you to feel stress? What can you do to change that? And if you're brave and you want to share, that would be wonderful. Yes. That's something you could do right away. How many of you have not thought about this concept before this way? We've heard this hadith. We know it exists, but we haven't connected it to mental health. Well, now you have today. So this is something you can apply right away, moving forward, taking out here, right? So think about that concept. At that level, if you can do something right away about the stressor that's causing you this feeling, do it. Change it. A big one I find with the clients that I work with is definitely eating habits and exercise and balance and sleep. So we look at how can we order that in their lives, because that's something you have immediate control over. And then there's a huge difference. Like within 2 weeks, just applying this routine, the stressors have not gone, but definitely the symptoms, okay, their reaction, their response to the stress has reduced. So level 2 is managing the signs and symptoms of stress. This is where a little bit of work is involved. So we're going to do something right now. If you guys want to put your feet down flat on the floor. Can we perhaps dim the lights in here? We're going to create the atmosphere, okay? So put your feet down flat on the floor. Relax your bodies. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. So relax your body, relax your shoulders. I want you to listen to my voice and what I'm going to say, and I'm going to use mind control here. No, I'm joking. Just relax. Loosen up all the muscles in your body by tensing all the muscles and releasing them. Tensing all the muscles and releasing them. Squeeze every part and muscle of your body. And release that tension. Tense the muscles of your body, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your legs, your feet, all the way down from head to toe. Tense the muscles and release. Now we're going to start breathing. By breathing in through your nose deeply, we're going to count up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of hard at first. You're going to hold your breath. You're going to hold your breath. Counting up to 8. And then you're going to release like this. Through your mouth, not your nose. Breathe in through your nose, counting up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, counting to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And release, counting up to 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in through your nose again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding your breath. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale, counting out to 8. Now follow your own rhythm with what we've started. Breathing in through your nose and exhaling out through your mouth. Keep breathing. Keep breathing in through your nose. Holding and releasing. Follow your own rhythm. Your muscles are relaxed. Your mind is relaxed. Your spirit is relaxed. And now you're going to visualize. You're going to visualize taking your mind away from here. In your mind's eye, you're going to a safe place, a happy place, a place far away from here. Could be up in the clouds, could be by the ocean, could be with the beloveds on our ziyarah, could be wherever gives you that serenity and that nafs al-mutma'inna. Take your mind to that beautiful place. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Etch that into your memory right now, in this safe space. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What does it feel like? That happy place that gives you the serenity, the peace, the relaxation that you always try to find when you are stressed. You are not stressed right now, but you are floating, you are relaxed. Keep breathing. Keep breathing in through your nose, holding and releasing. Release and exhale through your mouth, not your nose, your mouth. Now, in that peaceful, beautiful place that you are in, let it envelop you, let it surround you from the outside to the inside of your heart, your spirit, your soul. Treasure this precious feeling that you are creating right now. Memorize it, hold it. Connect yourself spiritually right now with the divine, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the Ahl al-Bayt alayhum as-salam in this holy place during this holy month. Keep breathing in the goodness that we have created in this room, in this safe space of love and openness and awareness and reflection. Breathe it in, hold it close to your spirit, your heart, and exhale all of the negativity out of your body, out of your mind, out of your spirits. Blow it far away. You have control over this. Breathe in deeply again. And release all the negativity. With every breath out, it is gone far away. And with every breath in, you bring in divine energy into your spirit. You bring in the power and inspiration of the Ahl al-Bayt alayhum as-salam, or whatever that you find inspiration from. Draw upon it right now. And fill your heart. Relax your body and your mind, for there are no worries and problems in this world that the divine is not greater from and above. And when we remember that, our spirits find that serenity and tranquility. Verily, with the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find peace and serenity. And you are in a place of serenity at the moment, of deep, deep relaxation, mind, in spirit. Every muscle is relaxed, and you are breathing. Keep on breathing. Listen to the heavenly sounds that take you far away from here. And keep on breathing. And whatever that you find precious in your vision, this place that you are in right now, you have created this place of safety and serenity. You have created this space. Draw the spiritual energy that you are in. Memorize it. Honor it. Treasure it. And know that you have control over this. And that the next time your worries try to overtake you, you have this power. You have this energy that you have created of deep relaxation that you can draw upon any time, any place, with whoever's around you, because you have control over this. Keep on breathing. This feeling that you have created right now, this beautiful spiritual energy. Hold it close to you and know it, that you can come to this place anytime you choose, because you have that power. Breathe in and breathe out to your own rhythm. Notice how every part of your body is in that wonderful deep relaxation. You have this power of relaxation now in your hands. You are creating memories right now for you to draw upon in the future anytime you need to. You have this in your hands, in your mind, in your spirit. Now memorize the feeling in your body and start moving very slowly. Perhaps stretching, perhaps tensing and releasing again the different parts of your body. Become aware of my voice, become aware of my words, become aware of the air in here, become aware of the sounds. Become aware of everything around you, inside of you right now. And keep on breathing. Keep on breathing, and when you're ready, come back to your senses in this room, having taken away all the beautiful energy that you've created in your mind, the vision, the visualization. Bring it with you to the front, and when you're ready, you can slowly move again. Feel the bottom of your feet on the ground, on the floor. Stretch your toes, your legs, the rest of your body, and when you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes and become aware of the dim light around you, holding that special feeling from that safe space of the visions, of the visualizations. And when you are ready, you can open up your eyes. And come back to the room, where we will maybe slowly open up the lights again, very slowly. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. How's everybody feeling? Feel good? Relaxed? Yes. Light? Spiritual? Where did you go, if you don't mind sharing? I noticed some tears. Where did those tears take you? That's beautiful. So this is the safe space that you have created for yourself. That whenever, the next time you feel stressed, you notice I said whenever, not if. Acceptance of reality that you will experience stress. So the next time you are stressed, you now have created a tool for yourself. That you can take yourself there, draw from the energy that you have created to apply. It is an incredibly powerful feeling. Where else did you go? I went to Ziyara in my head. But you have the power to create where you want to go. The walk from Najaf to Karbala. Tell me about that. What was it for you that created that beautiful energy? So for you, the walk gave you that energy and that power. Amazing. Where else did you guys go? You and the divine. Where else? I knew that right away. For some reason, I connected with that immediately when I heard you. Immediately. We're kindred spirits. What we did right now was a combination of the breathing relaxation technique, the progressive muscular relaxation technique, meditation, and visualization. We did it all together. It's one of my favorite exercises to do with people because I just love seeing the looks on everyone's faces when they're off in their special place. And when people tell me, I don't have time to relax, I don't have time to take care of my stress, I don't have the time. Well, we just proved you wrong right now by we spent 10 minutes, this can be done in 5 minutes as well, to create that safe space for you and feel relaxed. You can create that for yourself. And you saw how powerful. Now, was there anybody in here who didn't feel it? Amazing. There's always one or two that just sit there and stare at me like, what is she talking about? It happens every time, so I'm so happy. Maybe because it's a full Muslim audience, I don't know, maybe. I think we really created the spiritual energy today, huh? So again, this is just to show you that subhanAllah, that you have the energy and the power to create that safe space when you are feeling stressed. So next time you're stressed, and that's why I kept repeating it throughout, because what we were doing was we were creating the brain pathways to strengthen memory and feeling. Why is it that when we remember a negative event, we feel negative? Because the brain has created the neurological pathways there to elicit that response. Again, amazing how the brain and the body work, right? But what we did right now is we created a positive memory. And you can always go back to that to draw upon that emotion for yourself. So next time you're stressed, what are you going to do? You're going to encompass all 4 of these, right? The breathing, relaxation response, meditation, and visualization. Okay, so it's a very powerful tool. Music, this kind of music really helps too, huh? Each time I do this workshop, I write in a relaxation response and I come up with a new one, but this is by far one of my favorite ones. And I was watching the scenes of nature as well with that. You know, it's pretty powerful. Other things that you can do to help manage the signs and symptoms of stress have to do with touch, perhaps massage. So partners can do that, family with each other, it's very powerful. If you have with the insurance coverage, you can get a prescription from a doctor and get that covered as well, right? Go see a specialist to get that, or a Groupon or whatever. There's something about the power of touch that is incredible, and there's a whole science and research has been done with that, that when you hold somebody and hug them for 20 seconds, the hormone oxytocin is released into the body. You guys know what the slang term for oxytocin is? The love hormone. And I don't mean love between partners here. I'm talking love in general, right? When you hold your mother holds you, right? Or a child, when you hold your child, right? Friends, that hormone is released, you feel good. So the next time you greet somebody, you hold somebody, hold them for 20 seconds. Yes, I know they'll probably be like, what are you doing? That's weird. Explain to them. SubhanAllah. So touch through massage can be incredibly healing when you are stressed and the muscles tense and they're hurting. But again, that power of touch can release, that's why you feel so good after, because of the oxytocin. Your number one stress reducer. Exercise. Remember those stress hormones that we were talking about at the beginning? Right? What do we say about them? They're just running around in your body, no place to go. They start attacking your organs and then et cetera, right? What happens with exercise? Endorphins, adrenaline is released when you work out and exercise. You get the heart rate going, right? So endorphins are released into your system. They get rid of the stress hormones. That's why you feel great after a workout. I cannot stress that enough. Anyone pick up on that? No pun intended. Yes, pun intended. Exercise is your number one stress reducer. If you can incorporate that into your lifestyle, along with healthy eating and healthy sleep, these are your 3 stress proofers. Okay? So, step 1. Identify your stress print, basically, right? Step 2. What the stressors are. Step 3. Reason. Step 4. Yeah, manage it. And there are 3 levels. Level 1, do something. Level 1, just remember, kun fayakun. All right? That's the way to remember it. I can do it, I'll do it right away. You're going to remember this one. Level 2, doing something about all of this. And you're not going to forget this for a long time. I could really see how affected everyone was by this, right? So managing the signs and the symptoms through changing some habits and whatnot, but applying strategies. And so the main things are eating well, sleeping well, and exercise. When these 3 things, remember when I talked about control? This is control right there. You control what you can eat, including fruits and vegetables. And you can control your sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Children, much more than that. And releasing those stress hormones through exercise. Balance these things in your life for the next 2 weeks. I guarantee you, if you're doing that, you're going to see a huge change in your stress levels. They will drop. Maintaining this, okay, over a long period of time, you will notice an even bigger change. When students come in and clients come in and talk to me about stress, we look at this aspect of their life. I will question them about these lifestyle changes. Guaranteed they're off. So we'll work on that, and we also work on the medical component as well. But then when we work on this, the natural route, they're like, I don't want to take medication. I want to do this naturally. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what you're going to do for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Because research has shown that when you do anything daily for 21 days, which basically means 3 weeks, what happens? It develops into a good or bad habit. Okay? So if you do this for the next 3 weeks, working on your eating, sleeping, exercise, it will become a habit for you. Okay? So give it a shot. Give it a try. Okay? And that's how you stress-proof yourself. Eating well, sleeping well, exercise. I think you guys have to probably bring me back on a whole workshop on how to eat healthy, right? But basically, healthy eating includes, yes, eating fruits and vegetables, lots of water, take out caffeinated stuff. I know we love our chai, I know. Try to do it in decaf, okay? Coffee, decaf, I know, whoa. Yeah, your body's used to it, right? The withdrawal effects of caffeine, it's brutal. It's like a drug, basically, right? But if you are prone to stress and anxiety, these are the things that you need to be doing to reduce your stress, okay? What else in terms of food? Just like I said, lots of hydration. Get rid of caffeinated drinks. Get rid of pop. Sodas. Sorry, is that a Canadian term? Soda. Get rid of your Coke, your Bipsy, as the Arabs say. Get rid of that stuff. Bipsy. It's not Pepsi. When you've been to Ziyara, you've heard people, Bipsy? Bipsy. Pizza. Pizza? So what do you want to do instead? Lots of water. And there are, of course, healthy juices that you can, although it's not recommended because a lot of fruit juices just like sugar and chemicals, right? But there are some, if you just make your own orange juice and things like that. So these are things you want to include more. Nuts and some of the healthy snacks we had today, which is why I insisted on healthy. That's right, smack your head. That's why I insisted on healthy food, because it's part of this whole overall well-being that we're talking about, right? And there are healthy snacks. Hit up Costco. They've got a great selection of organic. They have not paid me to say this, but I check out this stuff because this is what I eat and this is what I teach my daughter to eat. My daughter now has a whole selection of Costco snacks that she picks after school for the next day. And I feel safe for her to pick the dark chocolate quinoa cookies and the bars and the fig bars that we had today, things like that. I don't worry about it. Dark chocolate, things like that. Because I know it's healthy, good stuff for her. And subhanAllah, again, modeling and learning. Whenever we go anywhere, and you know how like at the centers they give out like junk food to the kids, that's not healthy. That's what she says. And she won't take it. She'll have her own stash of stuff that she'll go through. Again, this is learned behavior. And by the time she was a year old, when I gave her her cupcake for her birthday cake, she threw that aside. She went for the blackberries. I was one proud mama, you know? This is learned behavior. It's not easy to do if you are used to having soda, and I've seen kids with cans of soda drinking. Do you know the chemicals that are in there? You know what's in there? Are that artificial stuff that you're putting into your body and what it does for you? When you put junk food into your body, okay, it goes right through you, no nutritional value. It gives you that few minute high, you know, the immediate temporary high, and then you, bam, crash. So you want to eat nuts, almonds, and there's tradition, hadith from the Ahl al-Bayt and the Prophet that talk about certain foods, dates and nuts and yogurts and lentils and, you know, all of this kind of stuff. This is not just them telling us eat it because it's good for you. There's so much science behind it, again, that now we discover in science that 1,400 years ago we had. Like breaking the fast with dates, what is up with that? Fiber, glucose, energy in there. We are deprived all day long from this type of energy. This is instant energy. Always have dates, not just in Ramadan. I like have them daily with my nuts, like prepare it. So another thing when you're talking about stress management and food and all that is pre-preparation. Students, I know it's very hard. And parents, I know you're busy, and you're on the go. And I notice culturally, a lot of people here will just have chai for breakfast. Here I am making my egg sandwich and then some fruits in there, making sure I've got my milk and balance, right? Again, like I said, this is a whole other workshop. I'm just giving you little tips and tricks that you could add into your lifestyle to change it, because this will help you feel better when it's the mind, the body, and the soul all combined together. So let's move along now. Long-term strategies for managing stress have to do with the negative ways of thinking that we took a look at earlier. So learning how to be a positive thinker, you guys hear well? Learning how to be a positive thinker. Learning how to end negative talk. Learning how to think about things in a positive way. Remember the hadith of the Prophet, right? practicing positive language. What does that mean? What does it mean to practice positive language? Instead of saying, I can't, I won't, I can't, that is a huge one. I can't. You say I can't, your brain's going to think I can't do it. What can you say? I choose not to. I can have a full-time job. I can go to school full-time. I'm a parent as well. Like you could say, all of that. I can do all of that. But I choose not to. Why? You're giving the haqq to yourself, your nafs. Yourself, your nafs, has a right over you. I'm sure you've heard this in lectures. This is where we can apply it here when we talk about life balance and managing. Yourself has a right over you. Give it its right here. It's too much to do a lot of things sometimes in the hectic lifestyle in the world that we live in. Yourself has a haqq over you, otherwise it will crash on you. And that's why people burn out. You heard the expression, burning at both ends of the candle? Somebody asked me yesterday a really good question. I feel like a candle that's burning. So what do I do with how do I prevent that? I'm like, make the wick stronger. It is going to burn. This is your life. How are you going to deal with it properly? This is your nafs that has a haqq over you. Okay? So positive language has a huge impact on that. Instead of saying I can't, I can, but I choose not to. This is yourself again, demanding its haqq. Setting boundaries, respecting yourself, having to say no sometimes. And I see a lot with mothers or even fathers who take on too much in terms of giving. And I saw one mother recently, and I used to tell her, why do you do this? You have teenage kids. You shouldn't be doing their laundry anymore or, making their lunches. I know mothers do that. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But when the mom or the dad are left doing all of these things and they have grown adult teenage kids who can do and help and give back, the mom's going to burn out. The dad's going to burn out. Right? So there has to be boundaries. There has to be redistribution. Has to be delegation. Has to be teaching. I teach my child already how to pick her lunch for the next day. I'll do the harder stuff, but she picks and prepares. Creating routines, right? To reduce stress for yourself. Having everybody in the home contribute to help. It is your home. And I always tell my daughter, you see something where it doesn't belong? Put it back where it belongs. This is our place. We work together to take care of it. Just like we take care of our centers. MashaAllah, you have an amazing center here. And it wouldn't be like this if people don't help each other out and contribute and care. Same thing happens in the house. You need to do that, take care of yourself with that balance, or else you will burn yourself out. Okay? This is important. Avoid being influenced by negativity around you and others. People are going to talk no matter what you do. Right? Do you really care about what people say? Yeah, to a degree, but who do we really care about pleasing? Again, perspective, right? Disputing irrational beliefs. This is a big one with anxiety. Worry, overthinking, overanalyzing, and this triggers anxiety as well when we're constantly thinking in the negative. Relabeling emotions, what does that mean? Instead of always saying, I'm frustrated and angry all the time, right? I'm angry. Really, you're disappointed. Look at the root. What is causing you to feel this anger? Disappointment, clash of values, again, breaking things down and knowing how to label the emotion appropriately so you can deal with it appropriately. Because again, you can blow it out of proportion and it doesn't help. Building skills, so taking workshops, taking courses, talking to people, asking people, how do you do that? I want to learn how to do that. That's a cool skill you have, an ability or talent or hobby, right? Time management, and I encourage students who are in school to go to their counseling services, go to their student academic success, these type of things, where they teach you how to manage time. They teach you how to not to procrastinate. They teach you how to focus and concentrate and prioritize. And these are things that I'm always telling students to learn. Because as we know, we've been saying this, every stage of life, you're going to be encountering different challenges. You can't control them, but you can learn how to deal with them, how to apply the coping skills and strategies. Problem solving, negotiation, communication, and of course talking things out with somebody that you trust, including seeing a therapist if need be. So what was step one again? Okay, so identifying if you're stressed. Number two, what your stressors are with stress print. Number 3. Sorry? Okay. And how do you do that? Oh, sorry, the reason. I meant number 4, yeah. Number 4 is, I forget them too. Selecting the different strategies, right? And then there are 3 levels. And you guys don't, the 3rd level we just finished, right? With the long-term strategies. Finally, evaluating yourself. In a week or 2 of honestly trying this stuff, evaluate yourself. See how you feel. See what worked, what didn't. Okay? It's a trial and error. What's going to work for you may not work for you, and vice versa, right? You can ask people, how do you do this? How do you do that? Apply it and see if it works for you. If not, figure out something else, all right? And then if you're still stressed after 21 days at this point, like I said, perhaps you do need further help. See a medical practitioner. Perhaps medication can help lower the intensity of the symptoms so that this natural route of working with stuff can actually help. So finally, stress-proofing yourself. I mentioned that earlier, right? Eating well, sleeping well, exercise, connecting with people, avoiding things that can really help, maintaining healthy relationships. Again, the positive attitude, smile, fake it till you make it, building skills, and of course, a lot of the things that we talked about today from workshop number 2 with Islamic counseling. Tips for making changes, slow. It doesn't, we talked about kun fayakun. That's about things you can do immediately. But things that take time to develop, be patient with yourself and kind as you learn what works for you and what doesn't. Don't be discouraged by setbacks. Again, everybody will respond to things differently. Learn from them and again, find out from others how you can make these different changes. So what we did today, again, just scratching the surface with stress management because there's so much more out there you can do, but these are the basic things that you can do. And there's always more information that you can find online, other professionals as well, and you guys are more than welcome to contact me. The best way to reach me is through social media at this point. And I'll be more than happy to come down again in the future and work on specific topics if you do like as well. Do you guys have any questions? We're good? It's been an honor for me to share this information with you, and I hope, inshallah, that you have benefited from it. And I'd love to hear feedback. If you guys want to leave any feedback for me, you can, we have some paper in the back. You can just leave some information, any suggestions for future workshops that you'd like to learn more about. Do not forget that everybody here today, alhamdulillah, you've now become ambassadors for mental health. You have a better understanding for what mental illness is all about. And you can take this now back out to the community. Next time I come back here, I want to see a fuller house because we all want to benefit and share this information. We say in Arabic, al-hadir, I forget it, but basically, al-hadir, the person who's here, يبلغ الغايب, to tell the others who are not here. Share the wealth and the beauty of the information that we learned, and I learned a lot from everybody too today. Thank you very much, everybody. Blessings to you all. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Soft copy, I'd rather not. Sorry? No. I don't want to be caught at the borders like, what is this Islamic stuff, you know?
Okay, great.
So you can have those. That's the thing. I'm not too sure how I feel about that just because let me think about it. First of all,
Are you sure I can keep I'll get copies and shall I get them? We'll just send them out that way. Does that work? Mine need copies because I'm Hey, table I borrowed from upstairs. Oh, you're welcome. No worries. It's already dark, so I have to break down this stuff first.